I'll just open it right up to questions. We're excited for our home opener this weekend against a very good hockey team in Air Force, and we're excited to be home.
Can you talk a little about the roster this year, the expectations, the second year of the program?
Yeah, I think on Saturday back in South Bend, we our goal every game is to give ourselves a chance to win. We think we can beat anybody. We were right with arguably one of the top 5 teams in the country. Tied going into the third with a goal that we shot, probably should have counted. It didn't, and it could have had the lead. And the guys played hard, and we proved we can skate with anybody when we play the way we want to play. So we think we have enough in the tank to do that consistently. It's going to be a process to get these guys as a young team to perform that way night in and night out, but that's our goal.
Coach, obviously it was interesting with the officiating this past weekend. And you've already said what you said, but what was the message they gave to you after those games?
I don't want to get too much into that. There's a new standard of play in NCAA hockey that unfortunately we weren't made aware of before we went out there in their defense. So we kind of walked into a buzzsaw, and it was really nobody's fault. We're not in a conference, so we don't have a conference commissioner governing that process for us and educating us and our players on the new standards of play, which really revolve around using your sticks to defend and stick on stick up in the shaft near the glove, and anything up and around the waist with your stick, it's going to get called. So there's a new standard of play that none of our guys were used to and we didn't know about. So I think that's the biggest reason why you saw so many penalties on Friday. We corrected it the best we could on short notice Saturday, and you saw the result. Now we know. Now we know. We found out a game too late, but better late than never.
Coach, obviously goal differential not what you wanted from the first weekend, I'm sure, but what can you learn from playing a team like Notre Dame and with building this program?
Yeah, that's why we go out. That's why we've scheduled the schedule that we have. We want to play the best programs, and Notre Dame might be the best team we play all year. They're incredibly talented, just a great hockey team, well coached, and what we learned was that we're pretty good. I mean, it wasn't Notre Dame that played poorly Saturday. We played with them. We were right there with them. We thought we were probably the better team for the first 40 minutes, and we were right there. So just a young team, with some talent on it, and that we have. They have to figure out and approach every game with the confidence that they need. To skate with the top teams in the country, and it's going to be a process, and we know that, and over time, then you go into, it's like I told the guys before the game Saturday, like before you can have a benchmark win, you have to have a benchmark effort, right? And I think Saturday was a benchmark effort. It didn't result in a win, but it's certainly one that we can build a ton of positive off of, and we will.
Coach, how do you think Joey Daccord did on Friday, given those circumstances, and then Levin on Saturday?
I thought he did great. I mean, I felt bad for the kid to your first collegiate start against one of the top programs in the country. 19 power plays and 6 of them were 5-on-3s, which you just never see. So he was thrown into the fire, and he made some big saves. Certainly wasn't the environment. And the nature of which, I'm sure he envisioned his first collegiate start, but he dealt with it great. He was positive about it. He was upbeat about it. He's going to be a huge piece to this program, and I thought he played well. And then obviously Rob on Saturday was tremendous. He was outstanding. We made a couple of mistakes in front of him that we can't make, and if we correct those, he may not even got scored on Saturday. He was that good. So we were happy with our goaltending. We feel like that's a position that we have a strength as a part of our team, and they proved it.
And also, Jordan Masters, last year's scoring leader, obviously not on the ice for either game in South Bend. Why was that, and kind of what's the plan for him this year moving forward?
Well, we're still determining how we're going to move forward with Jordan. We're going to keep anything that's going on with him internal for now, but you can expect him not to be in the lineup against Air Force.
Any update for Robbie's status with the transfer rules and everything this weekend?
Yeah, there was just a processing delay with Robbie. and we were really disappointed because he's going to be our top center, and he's a heck of a player, and he's just chomping at the bit. So there was just some minor processing delays getting his final transcript posted and graduation certified from BU in time for the game last weekend. But the good news is it's done, and he'll be in for Friday against Air Force. So we're really excited about that. But not having him last weekend was something we didn't really plan for. And having his experience as a really seasoned Hockey East, veteran that's played in the Frozen Four and a national championship and in that building against Notre Dame would have really helped us. So we're excited to have him back.
This issue you mentioned about the different standard of play, is that something that's not? Do they not circulate that information like nationally? I mean, it seems like it would be kind of odd that you'd go into your first game and not really know that they were going to call certain things.
Yeah, I mean, they circulate it to essentially to 59 Division I head coaches, and they forgot one. Now on the flip side of that, I have a responsibility to proactively investigate if there's any major rule changes, and that wasn't done either. So I think it's partially on me as well. But last year for our first NCAA season, we flew in a member of the rules committee, Steve Piotrowski from the Big Ten, and he sat down with our staff and went over everything. We weren't aware that there was a major standard of play change this year, and we didn't fly him in, and that's on me. That's probably something, as we are an independent, that we're going to have to just commit to doing every season, because again, we don't have a commissioner of a conference notifying us and giving us that information proactively like the other 59 programs do. So it was a big snafu, and it hurt us. It hurt us big time. But I take as much responsibility for it as anybody.
Back at Gila River Arena this weekend, and obviously the relationship with the Coyotes has just been great ever since the start of it. How much have they really helped you guys move forward, considering everything going on with their arena situation, but being able to loan Gila River to you guys on opening weekend for the NHL season too?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I think it'll be a great weekend of hockey, to have our home opener Friday and then a Sunday matinee game against Air Force, and then their home opener Saturday against the Flyers. It's going to be a great weekend out there. They've been incredible to us. I've said it all along. I don't think that we're here without the NHL in this market. Just the growth of hockey overall. When you walk into a rink and you see the great hockey at the youth level, it's all credit to them really being committed to growing, our sport out west. And so our partnership with them has been invaluable in every way, especially from a facility standpoint. But they've been top-notch to us from day one and continue to be.
So you're well aware of everything, because you are representing still the Pac-12 regardless if you're independent in the sport.
Yeah, that's a good question. I certainly don't hold the Pac-12 at fault. I mean, this is there are going to be growing pains. We're brand new. We're the first Pac-12 school to ever have this sport, and the Pac-12 has been very supportive of ice hockey at Arizona State. And as we continue to grow as a program, there's going to be growing pains, and this is one of them. And it was one that came with a very hard lesson. And the lesson that I learned was, if you want something done, you got to do it yourself. And that's how we run our program from top to bottom. In this area, we did not do it. It would have been nice to get some information on it, but we didn't. And last year, nothing was offered to us, but we flew in against somebody from the rules committee to go over points of emphasis with us, and this year we didn't do it. And it wasn't because we decided not to. We just didn't do it. It was an oversight. So had we done that, we would have been okay. And I'm not certainly saying that would have changed the outcome of Friday's game. It probably would have helped. I don't think I've ever coached a team with 31 penalties against on a weekend, let alone in one night. But again, in everybody's defense, it was a standard of play that we didn't know we were playing with. So onward and upward we go, and you saw the improvement from Friday to Saturday, and we expect an even greater improvement from last Saturday to this Friday. So that's pretty much it. Yeah.
That happened, and you know that in a sense that you're on maybe a little bit of an island. Does that make you more battle tested to make sure that you go everything, every I's crossed, every I's dotted, every T's crossed moving forward?
Absolutely. Like I said, I mean, we've taken the approach that if we want something done, we're going to do it, and we're going to handle it. And I think our staff has done a tremendous job with it. But as you build a program, there's things you got to learn the hard way, and this was one of them. But certainly, yeah, yeah, absolutely. Hey, thanks.